Hello, Aldwyn Altuney here. Fantastic to have you with us. And we have today one of my very dear friends I've known for a long time. We've been through so much together. And it is that time of year when Santa comes out in a different form. This is not the normal Santa you would expect coming down the chimney. And I'm not sure if this lady has come down a chimney before in her life. However, we are looking today at whether you have been naughty or nice this year. And in fact, if you are going to be naughty or nice moving forward, and how to make Santa's nice list this Christmas. Welcome, Lynn Santer.
Thank you, Aldwyn. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm feeling very Christmassy, but when you're Santa, it's sort of Christmas every day, as you'd appreciate.
Yes.
We do have a serious subject to speak about, but there's no reason that we can't be light-hearted as we go along. I do realise it might be difficult to take the serious part seriously, given how I am attired on this fine day. But we have some very special Christmas offers, and everyone who partakes will definitely make Santa's nice list. That's S-A-N-T-E-R, that's me, Santa Claus, that's me. And they will get a certificate to prove it, among other things.
Fantastic. Now, I don't know, a lot of people know this about you. You've worked with some phenomenal celebrities. In fact, as your personal friends, you have people like Priscilla Presley and Tippi Hedren of the Birds fame, and Alfred Hitchcock movie. Albie Mangles you managed for a long time. There's a whole lot of interesting people have come in and out of your life. And with Priscilla and with Tippi, they have something very close to their hearts as you do, and that is a fight for big cat conservation. And your Land of the Free project is extraordinary. It's something you've been fighting for a long time to help save endangered animals from game hunting and from the cruel practices that go with that. So could you tell us a little bit more about Land of the Free for those that don't know about it, and what the progression has been?
Of course. It's a little bit more than just big cat conservation. Priscilla phoned me on this just a couple of hours ago, actually. We are on a mission, a campaign, and it's been 20 years in various evolutions and iterations, during which time we have had some success, to ban trophy hunting of endangered species. This is the main thing. Now, I mean, this began in 2001, and we've had some substantial television and other coverage during those years. We've also hit some major roadblocks and had death threats along the way. And in fact, some of the people who have worked with us in Africa have, well, Meryl, who's one of the key people, had her twin brother beaten to death. So these are people who will stop at nothing to kill an endangered animal to get trophies and accolades, which I'll go into in detail in a little bit more. As I said, it might be difficult for you to take me seriously in this particular outfit, but this part of it is serious, so please bear with me. Over the 20 years, obviously, we've learned a few things, and we've gathered some amazing people along the way, Priscilla and Tippi included, but not exclusively. And we are now almost on the cusp of launching a 3-phase strategy, which is going to roll out over 2021, 2022, and 2023, in tandem with what we call the Hall of Shame website. Now, this has been a strategically devised initiative that will roll out from phase 1, because we have learned, as I said, a lot over 20 years, and just making a noise isn't good enough. You need a strategic follow-up plan of action and a call to arms. We now have seasoned and successful campaigners in place to work with us in the UK, in Washington, DC, in Africa, South Africa, and in Australia. Now, phase 1 of the project is a short film to premiere at the Cannes Film Festival in 2021. This is called Land of the Free, Are We Raising Serial Killers? This goes into the psychology of the trophy hunter. It looks at the sort of person who takes pride and pleasure in not only killing, but in engaging in something they call taxidermy art, creating dioramas, where they will murder a mother and child. Let me say that again. A mother and child, and take pride into creating it into what they call a living scene and displaying it in their living room. So we go into the psychology of exactly what sort of person chooses to do that, and what sort of person takes pride and pleasure in killing anything for any reason. But in this case, endangered species for nothing more than self-aggrandizement, the bloodlust, and financial gain, depending on which side of the fence that you're on. We also look at what it's doing to the psychology of young children, because I have lost count now of the number of photos I've received of children, some as young as 3 years old, with guns in their hands, smiling over the corpse of an endangered animal, being taught that killing is good. So we look into the psychology in phase 1, and we also look into some of the subversive tactics that these groups have used in putting out disinformation, and we debunk with actual facts their claims about being conservationists, about helping financially impoverished local communities and that sort of thing. In phase 2, we have a full feature documentary to roll out cinematically and at festivals in 2022 called Land of the Free, Animal Trafficking Redefined. Now, this is important because even though legal, you've got to look at the ethical and moral aspects of trophy hunting. And we follow the journey of an ordinary Joe as he is told the story through the eyes of a golden age Hollywood icon, who is obviously Tippi Hedren, who was already recorded as part of it. We've done a lot of filming this year for the projects. All of the short has now been filmed. We're now, and the reason we're on a fundraising drive now is for the finishing funds for the edit, the music, the color correction, because we've had to zoom in to direct our shoots all over the world. So we've used different camera crews all over the world. So a lot of color and sound correction needs to be done. We've got to get French subtitles for the Cannes Film Festival and so on. And forgive me, because there's so much here, I have a few cheat notes.
Yes, go
so one of the other things that we cover is the 44-page manifesto of the major hunting group, which goes into nauseating detail of points they award their members for killing the most animals, the most endangered animals, the biggest and best of the species, which takes the vital best gene pool out of a dwindling breeding population, the most continents killed on, and the most brutal method killed by. They award extra points for all these things for accolades. They are actively encouraging the torture and slaughter of the world's most endangered species. So we take a pretty good look at that. Phase 3 is the feature film. So this is going to be Hollywoodized. Been trying too much for that Christmas cake that we'll talk about a little bit later on. So you know, there will be things like love triangles, and it's going to be a Born Free meets Mission Impossible style feature film. And the logline of that is when a Hollywood legend, an embattled conservationist, and a socialite team with a jaded ex-Special Forces commando, who Cliff Simons, Stargate's Lord Baal, is geared up to play, to expose brutal atrocities against endangered big game by some of the wealthiest men on Earth, because, of course, that would never happen, except it did. Tippi Hedren, the legend, Merrill Harrison, the embattled conservationist, me, the socialite, and Reg Dickerson, who's the former Special Forces commando, did team and did do exactly that. So even though it sounds like a Hollywood logline that would never happen in reality, it did. Where it differs is 2 of the women fall for the commando in the feature film, but that didn't happen in real life. Honestly, it didn't. And then, of course, as I said, part B to all of the 3-phase strategy is the Hall of Shame website, which names and shames, and oh my goodness, we have taken legal advice about that, some of the people involved. So the general public can make informed decisions about where their custom goes, where their votes go, And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to have people upload selfies rather than sign a petition, because people are a bit tired of signing petitions. So you will never see this face supporting trophy hunting, and that becomes our petition list. And then this is ammunition that we give to our campaigners in London, in Washington, D.C., in South Africa, and in Australia. Australia has already banned trophy hunting imports. Go Aussie.
That's good.
So that's a little bit about the projects. There's obviously a lot more I can tell you. Who is involved? Well, Priscilla and Tippy, obviously you've already mentioned. We also have Sir Roger Gale, who has been a senior member of the British Parliament for 37 years. He's been a Speaker of the House. He's been Vice Chairman of the Tory Party. He's the man who spearheaded the ban on fox hunting in the UK. And he is a key strategic ally of ours. So obviously he's head of our campaign strategy in the UK. We've got the Born Free Foundation supporting what we're doing, Ban Trophy Hunting, Eduardo Goncalves, Pippa Hankinson from Blood Lions, the Humane Society, who have licensed us some covert footage they have obtained in 2016 and 2019. The Parliamentary Recording Unit of the UK has licensed us the Queen's speech announcing the ban on trophy hunting imports in the UK, and much, 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 much more. So there's a little bit of an information explosion about the project. Does that give you a flavour for it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the most disgusting thing out of everything you've just said, Dan, is the fact that trophy hunters are awarded extra points for the most brutal methods of hunting. I find that absolutely disgusting. And I cannot believe that
a black maned lion was lured out of a sanctuary and shot with a bow and arrow, taking 40 hours to die in terrified agony, because Walter Palmer's guide knew he would get more points for a black maned lion and he would get more points for a bow and arrow kill. That is how the system works. That is a fact. We have it in writing from their own sources, and and other information we've gathered over 20 years, despite all the noise that is now being made about trophy hunting. These facts have never come out. Never.
Well, this is going to be amazing to see, and it's been proven again and again that people who are cruel to animals then go on to be cruel to people as well. And it's actually breeding a culture of sociopaths and psychopaths who actually get off on killing innocent, beautiful animals, killing them off for future generations, even endangered animals we're talking about. It's absolutely disgusting. And anyone who is a trophy hunter of any sort, you're definitely on the naughty list, and you're going to remain on the naughty list until you turn your life around and stop doing it. It should be absolutely banned worldwide. It's disgusting. And if people want a taste of it, they can actually see a short film that you produce, a short documentary that's actually on YouTube. Lynn, is that right? And also on other channels, which actually shows the pack hunting of the dogs.
Yes, you can actually go to the Land of the Free website. You will see it there. And it's landofthefreemovie.com. If you just put in Land of the Free, you'll get all sorts of patriotic American sites. You have to put in landofthefreemovie.com. And yes, that and other video clips, including one of Sir Roger Gale saying, and this is quite remarkable given his position and the number of other groups he's involved in, that he believes that Land of the Free is the vehicle that is going to unite all of the global powers on this, and the vehicle that in doing that is going to finally bring an end to this. So that was quite a statement when he made that, and you've got him saying that, among other things, on this website as well. So yes, please go to landofthefreemovie.com. And
yes,
so my email address, if you ever want to find out more about anything, there we are. Lynn Santer. Yep. Santer is S-A-N-T-E-R. My parents couldn't spell. S-A-N-T-E-R. So,
sorry, I'm unable to perform that task.
That's my Siri talking to me.
Hello, Siri.
talk back.
Lynn at lynnsanter.com. I'm going to pop it in the chat. And actually, for people watching this, welcome. We know there's people watching from all over the world. Welcome, welcome. If you have any comments or questions you would like to add, please pop into the comments wherever you're watching this right now. If you're watching it on Media Queen TV on YouTube or on Facebook on the Animal Action events page or on my profile, wherever you're watching this, pop some comments. Just say hello and where you're coming to us from would be great to hear from you. Where are you joining us from today? And if you have any questions, comments at all for Lynn or myself, please pop them in there and we can share those on the screen. We're going to be chatting for about another 45 minutes or so. So anything that you would like to add, please feel free to do that. We can make you part of this broadcast. It is really... Sorry, Lynn.
I'd like to thank some other really special people who have come onto the Land of the Free mission quite recently, and they are forming part of the special offers that we have to announce today. So perhaps now would be an appropriate time to bring that up.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we have 2 offers that have just gone live in the last 24 hours, actually. And one is, will you make Santa's nice list? Now, this is offering tax-deductible donations, everything from $2 up, both in Australia and in the United States. For all donations, they will receive a certificate to say, congratulations, you've made Santa's nice list 2020. And, 2020 is definitely the year you want to make Santa's nice list. And for every donation that is over $500, everyone will receive a free limited edition numbered print of a painting. Now, here's 2 incredible ladies that have come onto this. Of a leopard, which I'll show you in a moment. The photograph was taken by a lady called Kerry David, who is a filmmaker in New York, who produced Breaking Their Silence. That has won awards at almost every film festival you can think of. It's a documentary about the war on poaching from the female warriors' perspective, the females fighting the anti-poaching war. And it is being painted by a renowned artist in Belgium, Gita Bracata. Wow. So yes, we have literally brought people across the world to produce an original oil on canvas, 80 by 60 centimeters, which is called Land of the Fray, and a very strictly limited number of prints are going to be produced from this painting with certificate of authenticity. And if I can get the angle right, let's see here, because this is all a bit backwards. There we are. There's the leopard. That isn't showing it in all its glory there, but it is a stunning picture by Kerry David, painted beautifully in oil on canvas by Gita Bracata. So every donation over $500 will receive a free limited edition print of that painting. Every donation over $1,000 is going to receive lifetime membership of the Bureau of Miracles. What's the Bureau of Miracles, I hear you ask? That's your cue to say. What's the Bureau of Miracles?
What is that all about, Lynn? I'm fascinated. What is the Bureau of Miracles all about? Please do share.
The Bureau of Miracles is something I founded 2 years ago. It's actually its 2-year anniversary next month. And it's a group of power women who change the world. And among my charter members of this group are, of course, Priscilla and Tippy. There's also Virginia McKenna, OBE, who was the star of the immortal classic Born Free and founder of the Born Free Foundation. There's Lady Susie Gale, who is Sir Roger's wife, Meryl Harrison, and myself. But those are the charter members, and among our miracle members, yourself, but a number of women who are all at the top of their game across the world, across all industries. And the power of the Bureau, a lot of these women are not on social media. Every member of the Bureau commits to read the monthly newsletter and sometimes contributes to it. So the Bureau members receive exclusive offers, inside information, invitations that do not go out anywhere else. And in fact, we've got a very interesting story coming up from Priscilla in the February edition next year. But on top of that, your story gets to them. So it gets to Hollywood agents, it gets to freelance journalists, it gets to all manner of people all over the world. So power women being powerful for other powerful women is what it's all about. And we may even be democratic and let a man in here or there. It doesn't say lady of miracles, but that's how it started. And that's normally $100 a month for $1,000 a year. So for any contributions over $1,000, you will get lifetime membership free. And
Wow.
again, contributions are tax deductible. And then for the largest donation over $5,000 by Christmas Eve, they will get the original oil on canvas of that amazing leopard photo painted by Geeta. But wait, there's more. On top of all of that, everyone who donates anything from $2 is going to go in a draw to win an original, oversized, evocative, monochrome photograph of David Yarrow's. David Yarrow's photos are regularly auctioned at Sotheby's and have raised millions and millions of dollars for important causes. This one was taken by David during the Australian bushfires of a koala survivor. It was purchased by a friend and supporter of Land of the Free, Corinne Corman, in Philadelphia to support the bushfire cause, and then gifted to me to use as I saw fit for Land of the Free. So this is David Yarrow and Chris Hemsworth. So this has also been touched by Chris Hemsworth, if that means anything to anyone.
Wow, yeah, that means a lot. He's amazing.
The size of it there, it's not very good reproduction on this camera, but you can see the size. That's an original photograph, one-off, as held by Chris Hemsworth. Everyone who donates anything from $2 upwards, tax deductible, from Australia and America, will go in the draw to win that. So there's a pretty amazing package, and every contributor from $2 will get something, will go into this draw. And for the larger contributors, we've got some very special gifts and prizes. So
That is amazing.
and you'll all make Santa's nice list, which, let's face it, is the really important thing, right?
Yes, exactly. Oh, yeah, you don't want to be on Santa's bad list, that's for sure. You know, I think I've been on the end of that. I've been on the end of that once or twice. You don't want to go. You don't want to go there. You don't have to be on-
Everyone else who's listening has been on the bad side. See, it wasn't just you.
But thankfully, we've come over to the good side now, so we're all good. But yeah,
Yes.
that's
The dark
amazing.
side, come to the light. So that's one.
Yeah.
That's not all.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. So the other offer that went live this week is this beautiful friend of mine. He honestly, this man has got the most beautiful soul of anybody I've ever met in my life in the world. So I don't know if you're watching and now blushing, Zach Gruber. That's Zach, X-A-Q-U-E. But he truly has the most beautiful soul of anybody I've ever met. And he is also an incredibly gifted artist, painter, writer, filmmaker. And he's based in Florida. And he is going to hold an Art for Animals Zoom zoology class on December 5 American time, December 6 Australian time. And he is going to teach you to paint like a master in an hour for $10. $10. That is all. So
Awesome.
contact me for more information. There's my email address.
Lynn@lynnsanter.com. I'll put that up on the screen again.
Yep.
Lynn@lynnsanter.com. There it
There's
is.
strictly limited places for that. Now, Zach's given me a supply list here. What you need to bring to this class. People are free to use watercolors if they prefer, but I would prefer acrylic paints. Paint colors: red, yellow, blue, white, and black. We'll create orange and green for mixing. A 9-by-inch stretched canvas or canvas board, a thin pointed acrylic brush, paper towels, something to hold the water, a willing heart, and an open smile. That's what you have to bring. Now I've got a little bit about Zach's bio here. It's fascinating now. Zach Gruber is an artist, writer, and filmmaker who has taught art around the United States since 1990. In 1999, he was nominated for the Massachusetts Art Teacher of the Year. So this is somebody who knows how to teach painting, folks. $10. $10. Limited places. Email me now. Lynn@lynnsanter.com.
There it is.
He has taught art to thousands of children, adults. That's the other thing. It's suitable for any age.
That's good.
As well as people with Alzheimer's and cancer patients at Florida's first ever arts and cancer program in Vero Beach. His students range from 2 to 102.
Wow.
His fine art has been exhibited in galleries around the world, and so on and so on. So email me for more information and the links and bookings. Just $10. And
amazing. And I've seen some of his artwork. He's extraordinary. Now, I'm curious, Lynn, how did you find out about Zach? How did you connect?
Oh, gosh, I've known Zach for over 20 years, from when he was living in Los Angeles. And just working the LA networks. You know, somebody said, you know, come out for a drink. I've got a friend. It was as simple as that. Honestly, it was. You know, people ask me how I meet all these people. I mean, as you know, I've had people like Barry Crocker and Leo Sayer support my magical scarecrows. That's another philanthropic project of mine we won't go into now.
Yes.
And how do I meet? How do I become friends with these people? Look, Priscilla, I met doing an interview, and we just clicked. We just became friends, and we were friends for years before we ever started discussing projects. And it was 2015, the year that Cecil was killed, that it became a talking point. And I went to the Emmys that year with my production partner, James Grenier, in a gown that was designed by our mutual friend, Roe London. Good plug for you, Roe, if you're watching.
Hello.
That had Cecil's head on it, and in memory of Cecil written in huge letters around it. And that gown was photographed more than the Emmy winners that year. But yeah, it was obviously that year, because of Cecil's death, that it became a hot talking point. And that's when James became involved in the project. That's when Priscilla became involved in the project, and subsequently other projects of mine. Tippy, of course, was in from day one, which was 2001. That's when we began this odyssey of a journey. And yes, working, socializing, clicking. That's all. It's as simple as that.
I actually heard today on another online event, I heard if you want an ROI, work on your ROR. And what that means, if you want a return on investment, work on your return on relationships. So work on working on your relationships. And really, when I look at you and all your connections, Lynn, you know, a lot of people in your life you've known for such a long time, including myself. We've known each other probably nearly 20 years now. Yes. And you came to me initially. I was working as a journalist at the Gold Coast Sun, and you always had great stories about, you know, different lake situations with eels and all sorts of interesting stories that you had. And we just stayed friends over time, and we did the celebrity T-shirt relay together. I went to Melbourne and Sydney, took photos of you with the T-shirt with Leo Sayer in Sydney and Darren Hinch in Melbourne, and celebrities from Neighbours and different places. You know, you had Jackie Chan sign that shirt, Priscilla Presley, of course. You know,
Hugh Jackman was another one.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman. Yeah, you've done some phenomenal things in your time, and you've written how many books now?
Oh, well over 50, but a lot of them are ghosted, so you'll never see my name on them. But there's quite a number under my own authorship as well. I write psychological thrillers, and of course I write the children's series, The Magical Scarecrows. But I've been involved in a number of genres as a ghost. Santa's ghost. Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's never a dull moment.
No, there isn't. I love saying that I ghosted for a psychic, which I did.
Yeah.
Psychic, and when she launched it, and I was in the audience listening to her talk about how she sweated and toiled and trained writing this book. Well, that's the life of a ghost.
Yeah, some fun. You worked with Albie Mangles for a long time. You managed him as well. How many
years? I think the word managing Albie Mangles are a bit of an oxymoron, but
managing any celebrity can be challenging when you're dealing with big egos, potentially.
True. Well, actually, most of the celebrities I work with don't have big egos at all. They're very grounded, very lovely, delightful people, and probably best to leave the Albie subject there.
Yeah. Well, I've interviewed some amazing.
I can't say with my hand on my heart that he doesn't have a big ego. Those words wouldn't come off my tongue.
Yeah, and there's a place for confidence, and there's you need to be confident with what you're doing. And it's interesting, I've interviewed a lot of celebrities too as a journalist over the years, like Hugh Jackman, Russell Crowe, Cyndi Lauper, Debbie Harry from Blondie. And I would say out of all those, 99% of celebrities I interviewed were really grounded, really lovely, really passionate kind of people. And then every so often I'd interview someone who just had that little bit of edge of sort of almost arrogance about them. And I'd say Russell Crowe is definitely one of them. And what I admire about Russell Crowe is how blunt he is and how straightforward he is. And very Australian, yeah. And so some celebrities just have that about them. They just don't take any bullshit. They just say what they think. And I think there's a lot to be said for that as well. And
I do that myself.
What was that? I couldn't hear that.
I've been known to do that myself.
Oh, you've been known to do that yourself, yes. And if you know the disc profile, a lot of celebrities would be high Ds, I would say, and probably high Is. So, dominant and, inspiring or influential connectors. So the high Ds are known to be a bit hardball, right? The high D personalities. However, high Ds are big action takers, and they are dominators, and they're A1 personalities, I would say, Lynn. What was that term?
The reason Aldwyn is grinning while she says that is because one of the other books I wrote some years ago was a book on diabetes when I was diagnosed with the condition myself 9 years ago. Although I knew quite a lot about it because my father and uncle had the condition and so forth. But I obviously went into it in much more detail and worked with a wonderful man who's become a dear friend, Professor Paul Zimmet, who's one of the top experts in diabetes in the world. And the problem for the average person trying to get a handle on diabetes, which is an incredibly complex condition rather, is that the information out there is just so dry. And I thought, well, I'm going to produce a book with what I've learned in digestible language and, dare I say, irreverent language, deliberately irreverent, politically incorrect language. And yes. I called it Don't Feel Like a Prick.
Yeah. I love that.
And this book was sent to the Diabetes Federation of Australia, and the chairman of the Health Committee of the Diabetes Federation of Australia read it and said, this has obviously been written by a gung-ho out there, take no prisoners type A personality. And I said, thank you very much. That's exactly what I was going for. So that's why Aldwyn was laughing when she made that comment.
That's right.
And you remember that well.
Yeah, that's right. I know that very well. And, star type personalities, people that are out there often attract star type personalities, right? So the A1 personalities attract the A1 personalities. In fact, you've attracted an AA personality here, Lynn. We've got the AA for, not Alcoholics Anonymous. No, that's my initials. We have AAs and we have A1s. And Annie B, actually, let's change the subject for a second. Annie, hello, welcome. Thank you for being such a committed advocate for animals. Cecil the lion was a true martyr. What a wonderful world it will be when people recognise that animals have souls. Fortunately, we have time to make a difference for animals. Absolutely. Annie, thank you so much for your comment.
Yeah, two things there. A number of countries now are recognising legally the sentience of animals. And Annie, we do not have much time at all. As you will hear in the statements that are coming forth from the people that we've interviewed for the Land of the Free short film and for the forthcoming feature documentary, the time to act is now. There really isn't a tomorrow for this project, which is why, these initiatives that we're running now, the Will You Make Santa's nice list with these beautiful prizes and gifts from Kerry David and Gita Prakatis and David Yarrow and this wonderful art offering from Zach Gruber. All of these are going to help us make the film all that it can be to reach all that it can to have the maximum impact so we can make a difference now. We don't have time, Annie. We don't. We have to do this now, or we are going to lose species from this planet. We are in the last 5 minutes. If we don't take affirmative action that leads to changes in legislation, that leads to carriers banning the transport of these trophies, that leads to countries banning the import of these trophies, we are going to lose species from this planet. And that isn't just sad. When you snuff out any single species, it impacts the evolution and the behavior of the surviving plant and animal life that all human life depends on in this world. So even if you don't care about the issue, even if you only care about yourself, this is vital that we do this immediately. So we really are in the last 5 minutes of this. And if we don't act now, it is going to be a stain on the soul of humanity that our children, our children's children, or future generations will just simply never forgive us for. So I don't want anybody to think there is time. The time is now.
So Annie, you got that loud and clear. The time is now. We have 5 minutes to make a difference. Okay, so a short amount of time. Let's just rephrase that. We have a short amount of time to make a difference. Contact Lynn at lynnsanter.com. And so Annie's saying, she's clarifying, yes, I meant we do have time taking action now. It's not too late, but time is running out. Yes, thank you, Annie. Absolutely. Yeah, time is running out. And actually on that point, what are some stats around how many of these animals have become endangered, and how, do you know much about the stats around the actual species, Lynn?
If I flick to my desktop, I've got actual numbers, but lions, for example, have gone down from 450,000 to 20,000.
Wow.
In recent years, so that is a terrifying drop. Cheetahs are down to 160 in Zimbabwe, about 3,000 left in the wild. Leopards, they don't have absolutely confirmed numbers on. Tigers, there are more tigers captive in the state of Texas than wild in the country of India. Double, in fact. Double the number. Double the number. So wild tigers are down to about 3,000. I mean, almost unsustainable numbers now. So yes, that's off the top of my head, but I do have all the stats.
That's really scary. And for anyone in Australia, and this hasn't really, well, actually has got to do with hunting, but not quite. Well, it is endangered species, I guess. You know, koalas, looking at koalas, some stats around that. Yep. You know, we did a fundraiser with their animal action events a few years ago, and koalas at that time, there was only 50,000 koalas left in the wild, whereas once there was over 4 million of them, and they got hunted because of their fur. So it's actually kind of similar but different. And now we've had the fires that wiped out half of the koala population that happened in the last year or so. So now we're down to about 25,000 left in the wild of koalas, which are our native iconic animal, like kangaroos are, and we're hunting kangaroos to extinction as well.
And there's one of the survivors. Somebody's going to win that.
Yeah, so
that
it's really,
you can't see that photograph clearly in that picture, but it is incredible. I mean, this man's photographs don't go for thousands of dollars at Sotheby's for nothing. It captures the soul. Email me.
Yeah, absolutely. Email in. And Peter, great to see you here. Peter Bergman, it's wonderful to see the commitment and dedication to save our fellow inhabitants on this planet. Thank you, Ms. Santer.
Thank you, Peter. And Peter's coming to us from Los Angeles.
Yay. Awesome, Peter. Welcome. I did a great interview with Peter actually recently about a phenomenal community project he was doing in LA. So great work you're doing too, Peter, in the community, helping those who've been affected by drugs and alcohol, etc., with your synagogue, and brilliant work there. Lynn, it is really concerning. Yes.
Well, I was just going to say, you know, in case people wonder why, I mean, obviously it's coming up to December and my surname, but I mean, 2020 has been a year. And, you know, part of my reason for everything I'm doing, all of these initiatives, I have a little audio cue here. Bear with me. And that's the point. We need a little Christmas now.
Yes.
So that's why I had that little audio cue. We need a little Christmas now.
Absolutely.
I have a good way to make it a good. Shall I give them the recipe?
The recipe. Well, we've still got another 20 minutes or so on the interview, so
Okay,
we could
right,
we could hold off. We have got a great recipe coming up. Actually, maybe you could just give people a little teaser of what's to come on this interview.
Well,
what's this about? What is this about?
This recipe has been doing the rounds on the internet every Christmas for years and years and years and years and years. And it's called the Christmas cake you can drink. And it is written, if you read it, you might think with typographical errors. They're not typographical errors. They're deliberately spelled as one would make this cake, sampling the contents as one goes along. And I did a little YouTube search last year to see if anyone had recorded it, and a couple of people had. And I thought, well, you know what? I think I can do it better.
Yes. Oh, you do a great version.
I think somebody here filmed me doing it, if I remember rightly.
Yes, that was me.
Arranging all of my koalas.
Yes.
And we have Santa koalas all over the house during the festive season, among other wacky decorations. You know what? I have a beautiful Christmas tree, a Hanukkah bush, up this year, and I wanted it to be very dignified and very color coordinated and just red and gold. And I said to Mum, none of the usual wacky Christmas decorations are going to go on the Hanukkah bush this year. I said, okay. And of course, I come in my office, I'm working away, and I meet her up in the formal lounge for a drink at the end of the day, and she's looking guilty. I'm thinking, what have you done?
Was she being naughty? Was she?
The Christmas tree is covered in Christmas koalas. And I went, she held up this sign. It said, "The elf made me do it." How could I do it? The collapsing lump. You see, I get it from somewhere. You do it, honestly. It wasn't me, it was the elf.
It was the elf. That's hilarious. Oh, blessings to your mum. She's amazing. She's definitely
Santa household at Christmas on our Hanukkah bush.
I love it. Lynn Santer and her mum Claire Santer, definitely A1 personalities. There's no bullshit with these two, right? They speak their mind.
Santa Claus and Mummy Claus.
Yes, Santa Claus and Mummy Claus, absolutely. Now, back to these shocking statistics. It is so alarming when you look at this, and not to mention all the endangered animals that there's so many animals we don't have anymore on the planet because of hunting. And so what can people do, Lynn, who are at home now and obviously they can make a donation. What else can they do other than make a donation and be in the running for all these amazing prizes, and also to help, get Land of the Free out, raise more awareness, etc.? What else can people do that are feeling maybe a bit helpless in this situation?
Go into some of the Facebook groups that are not mine, but just search ban trophy hunting and you'll find several groups. Eduardo Goncalves is one of the best, but there are a number of good ones. And the main thing you can do is become aware of who the hunters are. So you can start making informed decisions about where your custom goes and where your vote goes. Don't just get angry. Getting angry isn't useful. You need to make informed decisions so you can take action. And you may think, as I thought at the beginning of this journey, what can one person do, especially against such incredible financial and political muscle as these people wield? It's a David and Goliath battle. Well, it is. But you know what? David won. And remember that the mighty ocean is made up of individual drops. Each one of you is an individual drop. Every voice added, every mind that becomes aware, and I have to say every dollar donated, because it takes money, I'm afraid, makes a difference. Don't leave it to the next person. The next person won't act. It has to be you. It has to be you. If it is to be, it's up to me. Sorry.
That's right.
I'm feeling a bit festive and bursting into song all over the place here.
Yeah, oh, I love it. I love it, Lynn. You can sing.
I don't want to trivialise the subject, but I don't want to just go bang, bang, bang either.
Yeah. Well, we definitely need more song in life, and we need as much as possible, regardless of all the dramas that are happening in the world and all the naughty people out there that are killing animals. We need to get into love and gratitude as much as possible, I believe, in life, because they're the highest vibrations you will experience. To have a better experience of life, to attract more opportunities to yourself, it is important to come back to love and gratitude as much as possible, because sometimes when you think about these issues, sometimes it is easy to get angry sometimes and to get really frustrated, and and that's not going to help anyone, right? So take some positive action. Look at what you can be grateful for in this situation, that we still do have some of these animals left that we can actually help save now by taking action. And if it's to be, it's up to you, it's up to me, it's up to each of us doing something to make a difference. We can all do something, even if it just takes 5 minutes out of your day. We can all do something. And Anne-Marie's hopped on here. She says, you can't trust those naughty elves. That's true, Anne-Marie. Absolutely. Look out for those elves on our journey. And also, yeah, true koalas. And also take 100% responsibility for your life and where you're at. It's unfortunate there are some shocking things happening in the world, but you can't control those shocking things. You can control what you're going to do about what you hear with those shocking situations. What you do, you can take action. And that's part of what the whole Animal Action Events is about inspiring people to take action, whether it's signing a petition online or donating some money or writing to a politician or not supporting certain people. Can we name and shame anyone here, Lynn? Is there anyone we can legally name and shame that's a hunter that we shouldn't be supporting?
Donald Trump Jr., for a start. He is one of the worst culprits. And we have a litany of evidence against him. So there's a name for you.
Wow.
When we got into this in 2001, Safari Club International, which is the largest hunting group in the world, had been bribing and pressurizing and cajoling foreign governments. And this is another thing. They feel they have the right to pressure a foreign sovereign nation to overturn bans they have seen fit to put in place on protecting their endangered species, because they believe it's their God-given rights somehow. They actually quote from the Bible. We debunk that too. But in 2001, Safari Club was petitioning Botswana to overturn its ban on lion hunting. And 3 of the key signatories on that, 2 of whom have passed now, were George Bush Sr., General Norman Schwarzkopf, and Senator Dan Quayle. So when I talk about a David and Goliath battle, I am not joking. So there's some names for you.
Wow. So
and we have lots more.
Schwarzkopf linked to the hair brand. Is that linked to the hair brand? Schwarzkopf? Is that
General
Schwarzkopf?
Norman Schwarzkopf, as in Gulf War 1 and 2.
Oh, okay. Not Schwarzkopf, the hair brand. So if people buy Schwarzkopf hair, it's okay. You can do that. You're still nice if you do that. But don't support George Bush and Donald Trump Jr. and anyone else we can name and shame. What about in Australia? Have we got anyone, or mainly in America, are they?
Well, Australia has now brought in laws to ban trophy hunting imports into this country. Go Aussie.
Go Aussie. Okay.
We do have a few trophy hunters in Australia. Not many at all. But we do have some. I mean, sadly, I'm sorry to all my American friends, but they know this is the truth. The vast majority come from the United States. And the vast majority of those come from Texas. I saw a great line on 2.5 Men once. Charlie was teaching Jake geography. And what's his brother's name? Alan was walking around the room. Charlie read something and went, huh, Texas didn't used to be part of the United States. Why did we change that? Anyway, Texas is the nemesis of the conservation world. This is where the biggest safari hunting group is headquartered. This is where the vast majority of the hunters come from. Doesn't mean all Texans are hunters. Doesn't mean all hunters are serial killers. All serial killers did start out as animal abusers, by the way. 100% of them. There's an
Wow.
interesting statistic for you.
Very interesting.
But of course, they do come from other countries. There's an awful lot of British trophy hunters. Some come from Egypt, Germany. You know, there's smatterings around the world, but I'm sorry, the vast majority are American. That's just a statistical fact.
And is it true that there's more? Is it true there's more trophy hunters
than endangered animals? Yes. The
Yes.
trophy hunters are killing 70,000 animals a year, and many of those, not all, because they hunt bear and, you know, animals that aren't endangered, which doesn't make it right, by the way. If you're killing something for pride and pleasure, there's something fundamentally wrong with your soul, as far as I'm concerned. But out of those 70,000 a year, many of those are endangered species. And trophy hunting has absolutely had a downward impact on the endangered species numbers, despite what they try and claim about being conservationists. We have demonstrably, with facts and science, debunked those claims.
Why do you think trophy hunting has been so popular for so long?
Look, in years gone by, when we didn't know any better, in colonial eras, well, trophy hunting wasn't how it is now. For a start, it was much more of a genuine equal match, not an equal match, obviously, where we have guns and they don't. It's never going to be equal. But I mean, now we're using packs of hounds and live bait and all sorts of terrible high-powered weapons and all sorts of other, which also doesn't even always lead to a clean shot, by the way. But I think, you know, in years gone by, it was a sign of virility, masculinity, financial success, power, and I think to an extent some of that is still true. But more and more, it is simply about ego. It's not even so much about the head on the wall or even creating these ghastly dioramas such as a mother and who puts a mother and child they murdered in their living room? Who does that? What sort of person does that? But it isn't even so much about that for these people. It's getting the accolades from their peers. I killed one more than you and mine's bigger than yours. It really is about that.
Yeah, they say hurt people hurt people. And, you know, I do believe people who are being harmful to others have some hate inside them and some anger and some, you know, they need to look good on the outside, and they've got the small man. A lot of them are men, right? There are women as well, right, that do this.
There's an increasing number of women, I'm afraid. It didn't used to be the case, but there is an increasing number of women.
The small man syndrome needs to make a point and prove something. Well, you know, I do believe in karma, and I do believe if you're going to put out that kind of energy towards other beings on the planet, whether they're human or animal, I think it will come back and bite you in some way. And, you know, all the money in the world is not going to make these people happy, you know, and killing an animal and finding joy in that is absolutely disgusting. And it just goes to show there's some sick minds out there and a serious mental health issue that needs addressing. And I think it's time that we spoke up.
Opinion, but we actually do back it up with science.
Yeah, serious mental health issues out there. And so be the change you want to see in the world. So, Lynn, can you just run through again what are some of those amazing prizes and gifts that people are getting when they donate and come onto the nice list and help make a difference with this year?
Of course. Okay, so to make Santa's nice list, in case you've forgotten my email,
Lynn@lynnsanter.com. I'll pop it up on the screen. Thank you to everyone who's made the comments. There we go.
Email me. I'll tell you all about it. So the first thing is to make Santa's nice list. Everything from $2 up is a tax deduction if you contribute in Australia or the United States. There are links for contributions from all nations around the world. Those that we have tax deductible status in, though. So everybody from $2 up will receive a congratulations, you've made Santa's Nice List 2020 certificate, suitably designed by my amazing graphic artist, Brett Sherwell Graphics. God bless Brett. He has done some phenomenal work for me, and he does all my Bureau of Miracles newsletters as well. Everyone, $2 up, will go in the draw to win that incredible, evocative, oversized, monochrome, original photograph of David Yarrows, held by Chris Hemsworth, of a koala survivor from the bushfires. Then for everybody over $500, they will receive free a limited edition numbered print of that stunning leopard photo taken by Kerry David in New York, painted by Gita Brikatis in Belgium. Everyone $1,000 and up will get free lifetime membership of the Bureau of Miracles. Get your story out to the power players of the world who are not on social media and hear their inside stories as well. Normally $1,000 a year. And if the largest donor over $5,000 by Christmas Eve will receive the original oil on canvas of that leopard, 80 by 60 centimeters. Sent to you from Belgium with love. That's that one. And then the other one is Zach, beautiful, gorgeous Zach Gruber in Florida, conducting the Art for Animals Zoom zoology class, December the 5th American time, 6 p.m. Florida time, which I think is 3 p.m. Los Angeles time. Or in Australia, it will be December the 6th, I think 9 a.m. Gold Coast time, 4 p.m. Sydney, Melbourne time. And actually, if you click the link that I'll send you when you email me at lynn@lynnsanter.com, in case you'd forgotten, it actually defaults to the time zone where you are, so it will tell you the time and date where you are. Only $10, strictly limited places, and the name of the painting, I should have told you that we will be painting.
And that's $10 US, which is probably $15 Australian, something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Le Chien au Poisson Rouge by Matisse. That's what we're going to be learning to paint. Stunning. I'll send you photos. I'll send you photos of Zach. I'll send you photos of his artwork. So
beautiful.
I think you've probably got the email address now. lynn@lynnsanter.com.
That's good.
Email me and I'll send you all the details. So those are the two offers that we have running currently. So anything from $2 up, and the art class is $10 up, and the bigger the contribution, which is tax deductible. Did I mention that? Has these wonderful extra free gifts.
And we have in the chat there, wherever you're watching this, the links in the Animal Action Events Facebook page, Media Queen TV on YouTube, all the links there where you can make tax-deductible donations to help Land of the Free Animal Trafficking Redefined, to help with that project and help to end trophy hunting of endangered animals. Now, Lynn, I think it's that time of the show where it's time for our recipe. So over to you for the finale of our show today.
I've never made it through with a straight face yet, but I'll try. Herewith, the recipe for the Christmas cake you can drink. First, the ingredients. 1 cup of water, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of brown sugar, lemon juice, 4 large eggs, sorry, it's not vegan, nuts, 1 bottle of vodka, 2 cups of dried fruit. Got that? If
Yes.
you email me, I'll send it to you. You got the email address?
Yes, lynn@lynnsanter.com. I'll pop it up again.
Method. Sample the vodka to check the quality. Cheers.
Cheers.
Take a large bowl and check the vodka again. Stand by. Bottoms up. To be sure it is of the highest quality, pour 1 level cup and drink. I did that earlier. Repeat. I'm not going to do that now because I might have to take a wee break. Turn on the electric mixer. Beat 1 cup of butter in a large fluffy bowl. Now add 1 teaspoon of sugar and beat again. At this point, it's best to make sure that the vodka is still okay, so stand by. Cheers.
Cheers.
Try another cup. Oh gosh. Chills. Just in case, turn off the mixer. Break 2 legs, and add to the bowl and chuck in the dried fruit. Get the fruit up off the floor. Mix on the tenor. If the fried druit gets stuck in the bitters, press it out with juice scrubber. Sample vodka again to check for toxicity. Stand by. There's no toxicity there. It's all good. It's all good. Okay. Next, sift 2 cups of salt or something. Who gives you poo anyway? Check the vodka again. Oh, I can't. I need a wee break. Next, sift the lemon juice and strain your nuts.
Did you get that one? Strain your nuts. Okay, for anyone that missed that one.
Add 1 table. Add a spoon of sugar or something, whatever you can find. Grease the oven. Turn the cake to 360 degrees. Try not to fall over. Don't forget to beat off the turner. Finally, throw the bowl through the window. Finish the vodka. Kick the furniture. Fall into bed. Chainismus. That's all, folks.
Yay! I love it. I love it. Oh, beautiful, Lynn.
Merry Christmas, here I am.
Merry Christmas to everyone watching this.
Christmas every day, because we need a little Christmas now.
We do. We need a little Christmas. And if you have any questions about that recipe, because there was quite a bit involved in that.
Sorry.
And Marisa. If you want the details of that recipe, because I think, you know, everyone could use that recipe in their Christmas mix of partying, then just contact Lynn at lynnsanter.com. That's Lynn.
Free with donations to Land of the Free.
And donations are all in here. So we've got Lynn at lynnsanter.com here, and we've got landofthefreemovie.com for donations to help end the trafficking and killing, inhumane killing and brutal murder of endangered species. We are making a stand for future species of endangered animals to not be endangered anymore, such as, what are some of the animals there, Lynn?
Lion is one of the big ones. Leopard also. Rhino. Elephant. Cheetah. And then there's a long other list, but those are top. Oh, giraffe is another one that's become critically endangered, high on the hunters list. Yes.
Yeah, so all of those animals we're fighting for, they can't speak up for themselves, but we can speak up for them and we can take action for them. And as Gandhi says, be the change that you want to see in the world. If you are disgusted as we are by the inhumane, disgusting practices that have been happening for years with game hunting, and if you want to see it banned as much as we do and support the amazing Land of the Free project, then please do something, take some action. Go to landofthefreemovie.com, come to the art thing, even donating $10 US and learning some art. I mean, what a bargain that is. Coming up very soon. Just email Lynn at lynnsanter.com. All the details are in the chats here. We have some new comments here. Anne-Marie said, I'd love the recipe. However, it would have to be vegan version. Okay, so if people don't want eggs, and if you are going to use eggs, always use free-range eggs. Never support cage farming. That's incredibly cruel. But is there another? Can you do it without eggs?
I'm sure I can do it without eggs.
Yeah, there'd have to be a non-egg version. They'd have to just put some extra vodka in there. I think that would probably be what you need in that one. A little bit of extra vodka. Forget the eggs. Just put some extra vodka in. It might be a bit of a slushy recipe, but hey, you can always eat with a spoon, right?
Or drink.
Oh, there you go. You can drink it. There you go. So just drink it. Just drink it down. Drink it down and be merry. Not that you need to drink to be merry, of course. We're not advocating that you must drink to be merry, although vodka is very good for you, apparently, in moderation. Everything in moderation. Share the love around with the family, overage members of the family, of course, if it has vodka in it. I'm sure there'll be a non-alcoholic recipe as well. Wouldn't quite be read exactly the same. However,
Probably.
that was awesome. Awesome, Lynn. Any final words before we wrap up? Any final comments, questions from our beautiful viewers? Thank you so much for joining us from all over the world. What have you got out of this today? Pop your comments in there. Love to hear from you. Share the love if you like what you've seen. Any final comments, Lynn?
Thank you so much for joining us. Please pass the message on, pass the message on, pass the message on. You can find information on Aldwyn's Facebook page, on my Facebook page. You can email me. I think I mentioned that. I can send you the information you can pass on to people who are not on social media. You know, we have PDFs, we have JPEGs. You name the media, we can provide it.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Hearing from you. And please add your voice to our roar to stop this soulless barbarism once and for all. And together, we will add a new species to the endangered list, the trophy hunter.
I love it. Absolutely. So go to landofthefreemovie.com and you'll see everything you need to know there. Or, of course, you can email Lynn at lynnsanter.com, S-A-N-T-E-R. The real Santa Claus is right here on the Gold Coast. Fantastic to chat with you as always, Lynn. You're such an inspiration with everything you've achieved and with what you're doing, and your consistent fight for the animals is extraordinary. And thank you also for your great support of all the animal action events we've had over the years. I think you've been at nearly all of them. We've done 14 annual events now. And if anyone's missed the 14th annual Animal Action Night this year, we did one for dogs, helping to save dogs from death row and raising funds for SEQ Canine Rescue. So have a look at the Animal Action Events Facebook page and pin to the top of the page.
Event, that one.
It was an online event it was a 5-hour live stream, over 15 performers and speakers. Thank you to everyone who has supported any of the animal action events over the years. And last year we raised funds for Land of the Free, actually. We did a fundraiser for the cats, so it's only natural we do a fundraiser for the dogs this year. And you can go there and have a look at all of that. And we've got a chuffed fundraising campaign going for that's continuing at the moment, and we also have great prizes with that to give away as well. So lots of ways you can make a difference. If you're a cat person or a dog person, if you love animals, then please support one or both causes. Do something to make a difference. Share the love. The very minimum you could do is at least share this video, comment on this video. What did you get out of it? Anne-Marie Cottrell, Santa's helper, needs help doing an even more awesome job. Absolutely. Absolutely. And
spread the word.
Absolutely. Spread the word, spread the love. Pop your comments in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. And hopefully we'll see you at the art event. That sounds amazing. I plan to be there myself. Hello, Peter. Nice to see you. And if you have missed any of this, the replay will be up on the Media Queen TV channel on YouTube. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Also at the Animal Action Events Facebook page, you will find this interview in there, and also on my personal profile, and no doubt shared all over social media. Thank you so much, Lynn. Keep up the amazing effort, and for everyone who's behind the Land of the Free team as well. Thank you so much. We love you, for the whole team.
Priscilla, Tippy, Roger, Merrill, Reg, John Thompson in Washington, D.C. He might be watching. Cliff
James.
Simon. Oh, my goodness. What a fantastic support he's been.
Yeah.
Just thank you all. We could. It's a team effort. It's not just me. Thank you.
James and Peter. Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you. Blessings to you. Spread lots of love and good cheer this Christmas, and do something to make a difference. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you on the other side. Keep up the great work, and lots of love to you. Happy Christmas. Bye.
Christmas. Bye. Happy Hanukkah.